16. To solve this, let's first bring everything over to one side. By subtracting 16 from both sides, we get the quantity x minus 2 to the fourth power minus 16 equals 0. Now we can rewrite this to look like a difference of squares. The quantity x minus 2 to the fourth power can be written as the quantity x minus 2 squared, all squared again, and 16 is exactly 4 squared. So our equation becomes the quantity x minus 2 squared, all squared again, minus 4 squared equals 0. At this point, we can use the difference of squares formula, which states that a squared minus b squared equals the quantity a minus b times the quantity a plus b. Applying this formula, our expression factors nicely into two parts. The first quantity is x minus 2 squared minus 4, and the second quantity is x minus 2 squared plus 4. The product of these two quantities equals 0. Since we have two factors multiplying to 0, we set each one equal to 0. This gives us two separate equations to solve. The first is the quantity x minus 2 squared minus 4 equals 0, and the second is the quantity x minus 2 squared plus 4 equals 0. Before we jump into solving those, let's quickly recall the binomial expansion formula we will need. The quantity a minus b squared equals a squared minus 2ab plus b squared. All right, let's look at case 1. We have the quantity x minus 2 squared minus 4 equals 0. Using our expansion formula, x minus 2 squared becomes x squared minus 2 times x times 2 plus 2 squared. And we still have that minus 4 at the end, all equal to 0. Let's simplify that out. 2 times x times 2 is 4x, and 2 squared is 4. So we get x squared minus 4x plus 4 minus 4 equals 0. As you can see, the positive 4 and negative 4 cancel each other out perfectly. This leaves us with just x squared minus 4x equals 0. We can factor an x out of both terms, giving us x times the quantity x minus 4 equals 0. Setting each of these factors to 0 gives us our first two answers, x equals 0 and x equals 4. These are our real solutions. Now let's tackle case 2. We have the quantity x minus 2 squared plus 4 equals 0. We will expand that binomial the exact same way, giving us x squared minus 4x plus 4, and then we add the other plus 4, setting it all equal to 0. Combining the two 4's, we get the quadratic equation x squared minus 4x plus 8 equals 0. To solve this, we are using the quadratic equation. Here, our coefficients are a equals 1, b equals negative 4, and c equals 8. The quadratic formula is x equals negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac, all over 2a. Let's plug our values right in. We get x equals the negative of negative 4 plus or minus the square root of the quantity negative 4 squared minus 4 times 1 times 8. This entire expression is all over 2 times 1. Simplifying that, the negative of negative 4 becomes a positive 4. Inside the square root, negative 4 squared is 16, and 4 times 1 times 8 is 32. So we have 4 plus or minus the square root of 16 minus 32, all over 2. This simplifies down to 4 plus or minus the square root of negative 16, all over 2. We can rewrite that square root of negative 16 as the square root of negative 1 times 16. Because we know from our complex numbers that the square root of negative 1 is equal to the imaginary unit I, we can substitute I into our equation. This gives us x equals 4 plus or minus I times the square root of 16, all over 2. Since the square root of 16 is just 4, we write this as x equals 4 plus or minus I times 4 all over 2. Dividing both terms in the numerator by the 2 in the denominator, we get x equals 2 plus or minus I times 2. This splits into two imaginary solutions, x equals 2 plus I times 2, and x equals 2 minus I times 2. So there are our imaginary solutions. Now, let's verify our real solutions to make sure they work. We will start by writing the original equation again. The quantity x minus 2 to the fourth power equals 16. First, when x equals 0, the left-hand side becomes the quantity 0 minus 2 to the fourth power. That simplifies to negative 2 to the fourth power, which equals 16. This matches our right-hand side perfectly. Next, when x equals 4, the left-hand side becomes the quantity 4 minus 2 to the fourth power. 4 minus 2 is 2, and 2 to the fourth power is also 16. And that is exactly how you solve and verify this equation. If you found this breakdown helpful, please leave a like on the video.